Hey guys, welcome back to our channel.
Alright guys, so for today's video is gonna be a mukbang and a story time, I guess you could call it. A little story time on what happened to Tony's finger. And if you guys see that I'm sounding a little bit weird, it's because I'm a little bit sick. So sorry about that, but just go with the flow.
For the mukbang, guys, we got some chicken pad thai and some Taco Bell. What did you get from Taco Bell?
I got a chicken quesadilla, a chalupa.
You always get those two things.
I know. And some nacho bel grande. Yeah, guys, we decided to do this little mukbang just to catch you guys up on our life updates. And so that Tony can tell you guys what happened.
Yeah, I'm about to explain the story of what happened to me, guys, over the weekend. It was pretty unfortunate, but oh well. Also, guys, we picked these up at the store. I don't know if you guys remember these from like a long time ago. These are not the package that they used to be in, but they're like the same thing. Alright, anyways, guys, let's get to the story time.
Let's get into this video. Alright, guys, so this, like, the day started off like, well, it wasn't the night, huh? What time was it when we went?
It was like 5.
It was like 5. So Tony came to pick me up to go to, I think she's my mom's aunt, but like, how do you say it? Like, not, like, far away? Like a far away, family member. So, the party was like 2 blocks down from my house. So, my parents had walked there, so Tony was like, oh, I'm just gonna go pick you up and we could just drive there. And I was like, okay. So we ended up getting there, like, it was like around 5:30 or 6. It was almost gonna be 6. And then we got there and we were just there. We ate pozole. The whole point is that we were like there with my parents and everything. And then by this time I was already like 8 or 8:30, because Tony was like, oh, like, Tony was like, oh, I want to leave already. And I was like, why? I was like, we literally like just got here like a couple hours ago. He was like, no, like, my friends are inviting me to like one of their house because it's their birthday party. And I was like, another birthday party? I was like, it's already gonna be like 9 and it's already late. Like, you should just might as well stay or go home. Like, if you don't want to be there at the party. And he was like, no, like, I'm gonna go home. I'm not even gonna drive there. One of my friends is gonna come pick me up at my house. So I was like, whatever. And then it was like 9 or 9:30, and he left. Because one of his friends was, like I said, he was gonna pick him up at his house. So Tony drove to his house.
Alright, guys, so I get home and like a couple minutes later my friend shows up and picks me up, and he's already with like a couple other of my friends that were also gonna be going with us. And yeah, so basically we had left and we had gotten to the other friend's house that we were gonna be at. And we were just there chilling, you know, talking. We were playing some beer pong and whatnot. Alright, guys, so we had gotten to my friend's house and we were just chilling there, you know, playing beer pong and just hanging out. And I'd say like not even an hour into being there, I had the audacity, is that how you say it? I had the audacity to want to cut up a line to take a shot. And so I go to like where they have the knives and stuff like that, and I don't know why, like, for some reason, like, I saw that the knives had the guards, and you know that clearly means that they're sharp. But like, I didn't really pay much attention to it. And what's crazy is I wasn't even like drunk or anything like that when this happened. But okay, so point is, I got the knife and I cut my lime, and I was gonna put the knife away, and I was gonna go take my shower and whatever. But when I was gonna put the knife back into the guard so I can put it away, the knife wasn't going into the guard for some reason. I don't know, maybe I was doing it wrong or something like that. But I was like trying to shove the knife into the guard, and it wouldn't go in. So I thought, you know, I probably had to shove it a little bit harder. And so I tried to, but when I did, the knife, well, my hand holding the guard ended up slipping off of the guard and towards my other hand where the knife is, and I just ended up cutting my finger.
We'll show you the picture right here of how the finger looked.
Yeah, wait, viewer description advice first. If you guys don't want to see, like, if you guys get disgusted by things like that, make sure to just close your eyes for like 2 minutes
or just skip
2 seconds. And we're gonna put a picture right here, like, of when I cut it, like the way it looked, and we'll also put a picture of when I got my stitches on.
And how it looks now, basically.
Yeah. But yeah, I ended up cutting my finger and a little bit of, I had cut my index finger and a little bit of my middle finger. It wasn't really that bad on the middle one. But yeah, so I was like, when it happened, I didn't even notice because I got my lime and, you know, I was ready to take my shot and stuff until like I looked down and I see like a lot of blood just coming down on me, like a lot just coming down onto my hand. I was like, whoa, like what happened?
Whoa.
And then so I just went to the sink and I was just like wetting my hand, like, you know, to see like how
deep it was?
Yeah, how the cut was and stuff. And one of my friends, you know, like saw and he came to like look at it too. And then we ended up going to the bathroom so that we can wash it off and put a band-aid on it. But once we were there, like we were noticing that the cut was pretty deep. And I don't know, I've never really had deep cuts like that, so I didn't really know like if it would stop bleeding or anything like that. Yeah. So we just ended up wrapping it with like paper and stuff, and we just called it good like that. But I noticed that like
it was going through.
Yeah, like through like a couple minutes later, like the blood would just go through that, and it would just keep coming down and stuff. So that's when like I got a little bit worried, and I noticed that I guess it was actually pretty deep. And
mind you guys, I did not know all of this was going on.
Yeah, because like she like didn't go with me. She stayed over there at that party.
Yeah.
And so like since I noticed that like the blood wouldn't stop coming out, I decided to call her so she could come for the rescue. So I ended up calling her like I'd say it was like 30 minutes after that had happened.
Yeah, it was 30 minutes.
Something like that. And I was telling her like that I cut myself and that it was pretty bad. And that it looked deep and stuff. Like we were on FaceTime and everything.
Yeah, because he messaged me. He was like, babe, he's like, I cut myself and it hurts. Like it burns. And he's like, I don't know what to do. And so I was like, whoa, like, you know, like whenever something happens, like he doesn't tell me until like he sees me or something. So I was like, it's probably like something bad. So like I left like where I was at, like I walked outside and then I FaceTimed him and I told him, I was like, what's wrong? And he's like, I cut my finger. And I was like, oh my god. And like he showed me and he had like paper towels. It was like this paper towel, but like you could see the blood, like it was coming more. So I was like, what do you want me to do? And like I don't drive or anything, so it's not like, oh, like I can just be like, okay, I'll go pick you up and take you to like the hospital. So it's like a little bit more difficult for me to like do something about it. So he was like, oh, like, can you come? No, what did you say? He's like, I don't know. He's like, just do something.
Can you comfort me?
He's like, can you comfort me? And then I was like, how do you want me to go for you? Like, you were the one that decided to leave. Like, I'm not gonna, like, you know, like, be like, okay, I'll go for you. Or like, I can't even if I did wanted to. So, I was like, what do you want? Like, I was like, take an Uber back home. And he was in Vancouver, which was like 30 minutes away from like where he lives. And then I was like, just take an Uber. And he was like, no. He's like, why would I take an Uber? I was like, well, do you want me to like tell my parents? I was like, so we can go for you or something. And he was like, I don't know. He's like, just come. He's like, it hurts. It low-key sounded like he wanted to cry. You probably did, huh?
I didn't.
Yes, you did. Babe, I would cry. Like, nothing is bad, like, for you
I know, but I didn't. It was funny because I do remember saying that, I was like, wow, so you're not going to help me?
I look at that.
I was saying that on purpose.
Why? So I can feel bad.
Yeah, so you can come.
And so I was like, okay, I was like, well, let me figure it out, like, who I can go with, or, like, who can take me over there. So he was like, oh my god, he's like, okay, he's like, hurry. So, okay, so the whole point is that I told my mom, and my parents were drinking a little bit where we're at, because, like, they walked there, so they didn't drive, like, they didn't have, like, no, like, worries about driving back. So they couldn't drive anymore, like, I wasn't gonna be like, oh no, like, take me. And I told him, I was like, and when he first called me, I was like, do you want me to tell your mom? Like, maybe I can tell your mom so that, like, she can go for you. And he was like, no. He's like, I don't want you to tell my mom. He's like, I want you to come. And I was like, well, like, no one. And then I was like, tell your friends. I was like, tell your friends to bring you back home. Like, if they see that it's hurting, like, tell them. I decided to call his little brother so that he could give me the phone. Or no. I decided to call his little brother to ask where his mom was at. Because it was like 11 p.m. And he was like, oh, she's sleeping. And I was like, well, I kind of felt bad because she was sleeping. But, I mean, there was no one else. His little brother ended up waking up his mom so that I could talk to her. And then, like, she answered the phone and I let her know, like, what happened and stuff. And then she was like, well, like, what does he want us to do? And I was like, well, he said if, like, I can go for him. And, like, well, you would have to come pick me up. I was telling her. So that we could go. And she was like, oh, okay. She was like, well, she was like, ask him. No, you had sent me the address already, huh? Yeah. You're like, here's the address so that if you come for me. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, yeah, I told her, I was like, I have the address so that we could, like, get there and stuff. She's like, oh, okay. So I gave her the address where I was at, and then she came for me. And then we were on our way to pick you up.
So they had gone for me, and, like, I think I waited, like, 30 or 40 minutes.
I think it was 40 minutes.
For them to pick me up. Well, point is, they picked me up, and then at first, we didn't really decided that we should have gone to the hospital as soon as they picked me up. Because I told them that I wanted for them to look at it first so they can see if it's really deep.
But the cut wasn't even bleeding anymore.
Yeah, it was, babe.
When you opened it at your house, it was not bleeding.
Yeah, it was.
It was not as much. Like, we could have opened it in the car and seat and then drove to the hospital.
That's
like, we
true.
didn't have to go all the way to your house.
Yeah, but we went all the way to my house to look at the cut. I didn't really want to show them in the car because in case it was hella bleeding and, like, it would have gone everywhere. But we ended up going to the house, and then they said, yeah, it's pretty deep, like, we should go to the hospital. And we did. We ended up going to the emergency room. It was like 12. It was like almost 1 when we got to the emergency room.
Yeah, it was, shoot, I don't know if it was 12:40 or 1:40 when I messaged my mom that we had gotten there. It was around that time.
I think it was like almost 1.
Yeah, I think that it was 12:40.
So it was like almost 1 when we got to the ER, and we waited like 2 hours. About 2 hours for them to, like, check my weight and my blood pressure and my temperature and all that. And then after that, she's like, okay, like, go back, sit outside, and we'll call you back up.
And it was like another 2 hours.
I had to wait like another 2 hours.
So by this time, it was already like 4, probably, like almost 4.
Yeah, that's right. It was almost like 4, and they had called me back in so that I can get the stitches so that the doctor can look at it. Alright guys, so finally the doctor takes a look at it and tells me I'm gonna need stitches. And yeah, like, I got my stitches, and then they gave me a shot. So before they were gonna put the stitches on me, they obviously had to numb my finger. And he put a stitch on my middle finger too for a little cut. So he had to numb this one too. So he put like he shot me 2 times right here on this finger, and then on my index finger, which had the bigger cut, he did it like, at first he did it like 4 times, right?
No. So he did it right here, he did it right here, and then he did it right here. So it was just 3.
No, he did two right here. 1 right here, 1 right here, 1 right here, 1 right here.
What?
Yeah, it was
he did 4?
Yeah. So he ended up giving me 4 shots at first for the numbness. After those 4 shots, you know, he was asking me like if it's pretty numb or not, and I told him that my index finger wasn't like numb. It was not that numb. Like, I could still feel when it would get touched.
Cause he would stuff. Like get like they're like the tweezers, but they're like really pointing, like to the point where it's kind of like it can cut you. So he would like grab the cut like around it, and he would like pinch it a little bit, and then he would ask Tony like, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Tony would be like, yeah, like I can feel it. And then the doctor would, like, he would look and he'd be like, are you sure? Like, are you sure you can feel it? And then he's like, yeah, like I can feel it. Like I can feel like if like you're pinching me. And then he was like, okay, well then we're gonna have to inject you again. So he did it right, like he did it on the side again, right? It was just right there, and on the other side, or no?
Yeah, I think he gave me 2 more after that.
Yeah, so it was one right here, and then another one right here.
So that was
and so
6.
It was like 6 of them right there. Yeah.
And then he waited a little bit more.
He waited like 10 or 15 minutes
for like the numbness or for the shot to like
work.
For the shot to work.
And Tony's fingers were like hella swollen because like all of the numbing.
The shots.
All of the shots that were going into his finger were like it was like getting really fat, but yeah.
So after he came back, after he gave me those other 2 shots, he did the same little test on me to see if my finger was numb or not. And when he would poke it, I told him that they weren't numb. So I could feel when he would poke me with the tweezers. So I was like, no, like they're still not numb yet. And then he was getting all mad at me because like they weren't numb. Like, it's not my fault that I can feel them.
Yeah, he was like, are you sure? He's like, that's too much already.
Yeah.
And I think he got like really mad because then he was like, all right, then we're just gonna have to do it right into like the cut.
Yeah. So at first they were doing it like kind of where my finger starts. And then after I told him that I could still feel it, he ended up going like inside
the cut.
Inside like, where I had that cut.
Like his cut was not even bleeding anymore, but when the doctor like poked like inside the cut, it started bleeding like a lot more.
Yeah, like blood started coming out because it looked like he went inside and under like into
under the finger.
Yeah, like under my finger
on
almost.
The side of it or something.
And like, he ended up doing that like 3 times or 4 times.
I think he did it like another 4 times.
Yeah, like right there. So like that hella hurt it.
Yeah. Well, again, if you don't like to see like blood or anything like that, like skip this. But we're gonna insert a little bit of when like his finger was like dripping blood.
Yeah.
It's real life stuff.
And he gave me a total of like 10 shots.
Probably like 10 or 12
10 shots on my fingers just so that he could numb them. And then, well, he finally like did the stitching and whatnot. And then,
yeah, did the stitching hurt?
Honestly, I didn't feel it that much. I could feel it a little bit when he would like put the string into it at first. But when he would tighten it, it wouldn't really hurt that much.
But that's what happened, and then we ended up leaving after that.
It was like 7 when
by the time it was like 6. It was like 6:30, 6 something, almost 7.
It was like 7 when we had left.
Yeah, because I got home like at 7:30, 7:40. Like it was already like the sun was like the daylight. It was already like.
It was already daylight by the time we had walked out.
Literally, like we could see like everything. But yeah, guys, it was a crazy night.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy for me. I don't think I've ever cut myself like that.
I don't think I've ever experienced something like that either.
But yeah, guys, that's the story.
That's the little story time that we had.
When I got cut and needed stitches.
And now he can't go to work or anything.
Yeah, and I'm out for like a whole week. Can't really do much.
This happened on Saturday night, and it's already, today is Wednesday, so hopefully
by Monday
he's a little bit better.
Yeah.
So.
Well, hopefully by Monday I'm like 100% good now.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, that's the story time. Hope you guys enjoyed. For those who stick through and watch this whole video, thank you. Shout out to you. But alright, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. And if you have anything to say, make sure you comment down below. Let us know your thoughts about Tony's finger. And if you guys had any experience, let us know all of your crazy stories if you've had any. Yeah. So. And if you are new, make sure to subscribe and hit that post notification bell so that every time we upload, you can see our videos. Yeah, guys. And make sure to share as well. Guys, our goal by the end of this year is to get more than 1,000 subs. Yeah, guys, so help us out. Guys, hope you guys can help us reach our goal of surpassing 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Yeah, I know we can do it. We're gonna try to be more consistent with these videos. Right now she just started working. It's only 2 days a week, but like I get up pretty late. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're out. Peace.